Hello, I'm author Joe Frazzette. Thank you for joining us here at the Wisdom Cafe for this course I call the Hypnotic Formula. This is a course that we cover the 4 steps of the hypnotic formula, and at the conclusion of those 4 steps, I will give you an example of a practical application to how these steps are used to create transformative results in your own life. So the first step is thought. You see, all things begin in thought. The first rule of the mind is all things begin in thought. So it makes perfect sense that the first step in this hypnotic formula is thought. Thoughts are nothing but words strung together that create an image in our mind. And it's that image that becomes the focal point in the process that we call the hypnotic formula. You see, the human mind doesn't see in words or numbers, it sees in images. And it's that image that becomes the focal point for creating whatever it is that you want in your life or creating our reality. The second step in the process is belief. Now, you've probably heard the saying, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. Well, that is true. And belief is very critical to this process because belief brings with it the emotion that you need to push that thought into the subconscious mind, because it's in the subconscious mind where the thought or the image that you created becomes a blueprint for your subconscious mind to follow. So belief is critical in the process. If you don't have belief in yourself, you're like a boat without a rudder in water. You're being pushed along by the current rather than having a clearly defined purpose. The third step is conviction, and conviction brings a critical component to the equation. You see, with conviction, you bring an emotionally charged feeling, and it's that feeling that helps to push your thought or the original image that you created into your subconscious mind. And the reason for that is your subconscious mind is your feeling mind. So any thought that you have to create anything in your life, if you attach a strong belief and conviction in the form of emotion, that will undoubtedly be pushed into your subconscious mind, where that image becomes a blueprint. And your subconscious mind then goes to work for you to create the blueprint or to manifest that blueprint that's been created in the subconscious mind. Now, the final step is action. The first 3 steps of this hypnotic formula have to do with the mind and creating a thought, belief, and emotion in the form of conviction. The final step is action. It's where you take that image that you've created and you create a plan and you go to work on that plan. There has to be an element of willingness to do the work on your part. If you do the first 3 steps and you take action, you undoubtedly will start to create what it is you formed in the first place as an image in your mind. So the key point in this final step of action is to never stop taking action. In other words, don't put a label on the results you're getting. If you're not getting the results that match the image that you portrayed in the first place, what you want to do is tweak the plan or rework your plan so that you continue with the action that takes you in the direction of your original thought. And if you do that, you're on your way to creating transformative change in your life. So now that we've covered the 4-step hypnotic formula, I'd like to take you through an example of a practical application so that you'll know how to use this process to help yourself with changes you want to make in your own life, with weight loss, loss of anxiety, or creating abundance. So let's get started. Step number 1, find a quiet space and think of what it is you want to create in your life. And that could be anything from the previous list that I had mentioned, or it could be something like writing a novel, which is where I began. You see, when I started, I had to imagine what it would look like or what I would look like as an author. And I had to imagine my books and my website and the persona that I would present to the public. And I had to believe that that was all possible. And I did that through I am statements. So I repeated to myself, I am an author. I am a writer of fiction. And I got to the point where I was convinced that I was an author, and I had an emotionally charged feeling attached to the thought and the belief. And it's through that emotionally charged feeling that this image then goes into my subconscious mind through the process of meditation. And in the subconscious mind, that image becomes a blueprint for your subconscious mind to create in the physical world. But I wasn't done there. I had to go through step 4. And step 4 is taking action. I had to put a plan together, and I had to create outlines for the stories that I was going to write. And I began to write my first novel, and I completed that one, and since then I've written 2 more. So I have 3 completed novels, and I'm currently writing my 4th. So I'm a perfect example of how someone can take this hypnotic formula to create transformative results in his life. And you can do this too. And your goal doesn't have to be as grandiose, or it could be even bigger. Dream big. No matter what it is you want to create, you have the steps here in this formula. Thought, belief, conviction, and put it all into action. And there you have it. Take this 4-step hypnotic formula and begin to create transformative results in your own life. Now you can expand your knowledge by taking our main course, which features the 12 rules of the mind at thewisdom.cafe. Learn to become a master at creating transformative results in your life by taking this course now.